It's very much like how children are with parents. So the kids will ultimately end up disliking themselves, but still show for their parents because they love their parents.
Oh, it fucking hurts, bro.
Yvette, hi.
Beep. Beep.
We're back, everyone. So this time we have coerced two of our friends to hop on.
Look who's back, y'all.
So some of you guys may have heard her in the previous episodes of Awkward Tea Party. Yvette Calunsod is on. And then the other one is the Imposter Roy. Sean. He was in
Emeroy Emma.
So he's one of the members of Temper Tantrum. So we decided to bring them on to expand on actually more to share their experiences on Imposter Syndrome. So Max and I, for those of you on the live, we were just talking about it. For those of you guys on YouTube or on Spotify, it was in the previous episode. Go listen to it, motherfucker. So yeah, one thing I really, really admire right now is how evil Yvette's lighting is right now. So because it looks like it's like a little like
it's that highway lighting
face. But yeah, so Max and I were just sharing our experiences of Imposter Syndrome. Me coming from like when I first started my business or venturing out my own thing and feeling like, am I really good at what I'm saying, what I'm trying to sell? And then Max sharing her perspective of like
being a Filipino child.
Yeah. So
I might share the same perspective.
See, so, like, told you.
Yeah. I mean, we're all like, in a sense, we're all Filipinos.
I know we're all Filipino, here, but like, Yvette and I come from the same family.
Fair point. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, have you guys had your own experiences of Imposter Syndrome? And do you still feel it, or how did you get out of it?
I'm on meds. That's how I got out of it.
Oh, fair. There we go, everyone. Problem solved.
I told you therapy works.
I'm medicated, man.
Told you therapy works. I mean, well, mine was therapy.
Mine's a psychiatrist sort of therapy.
Remind me again. I should have done my research. What's going on? What's Imposter Syndrome?
Imposter Syndrome is what's the best way to say this? Like
it's the mentality that what you don't have, you don't deserve.
Yeah. Like
all the time.
See?
Yeah.
Like for me, my case of Imposter Syndrome was like I was promoting myself to be an owner of a company, an entrepreneur, or social media manager, all this shit. But I was like, but I was like I was in the beginning stages of my shit, but I was like, am I really who I'm saying to be and all that? Or like, am I really what I'm, saying
qualified
to be claiming what I am?
That's me every other day. Shit.
Oh my God.
Just wake up in the morning. You're like,
did I deserve this?
To wake up today.
I'm going back to sleep.
Yeah. I had that morning like 2 days ago, so.
Oh my God.
On a dancer's tip, it took me a couple of years. I was dancing for a couple of years before I had asked a mentor of mine, or a mentor had asked me, like, well, what do you want to get out of this? We were doing a program. She's like, well, what do you want to get out of this program? And I'm like, I just want to be considered a dancer. Mind you, I've been dancing for like 4 or 5 years. And she was like, you are a dancer. And like, it's like a light switch. I was like, oh shit, I am. That's right. But I guess subconsciously for all that time, I was like, I needed that validation. I needed to keep dancing to be considered a dancer, which sounds ridiculous.
The whole time you thought you were just a dude that just danced.
And even now, when people ask me, like,
that was me too. It's just like, oh, you a dancer? No, I just dance.
I just dance. And it's weird to say I'm a dancer. And then even more so, I just had a talk with a friend earlier. What does it mean to be an artist? Like,
God, existential dread.
Like I'm waiting for someone to call me an artist before I call myself one, because I don't know what that means and I haven't defined that for myself. It's like, just make dinner, bro.
Just feed yourself.
Just focus on fucking spaghetti.
It's a fucking
just make the spaghetti.
It's a fucking life philosophy question, and you're fucking like, bro, can we not?
I'm just trying to make dinner.
Wipe your ass and get it over with. Like,
I don't know.
by
For
the-
me, I feel like I have that every other day. Like I wake up when I had school, I was like, should I really be a nurse? Am I cut out for this? Am I good enough for this? Am I smart enough, or am I just faking my way through?
That's why I quit.
Grades on these exams, and I do well in clinicals. They're like, you're ready, and I don't feel like I'm ready. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I'm just
I told you.
internally that kind of brainwashed me to do this.
I told you.
So in my head, I'm like, am I just forced to do this because of genetics, or am I actually good at this?
Jesus
And
Christ,
then
it sounds
I had
like your
one
story,
clinical
man.
Cursed.
instructor that went to me. She asked me,
So I was saying this
Like
exact
acting
same thing
story?
before we guys brought you on, but like the difference is I quit.
Is it because of
yeah, but
imposter
I
syndrome?
don't know. I was like going through that.
Like, am I really cut out to do this? Is this what I really want to do? Or am I doing it because I have to?
Yeah, like I'm questioning my life decisions occasionally. But then I don't know. Like I had one clinical that goes, "Do you think you're ready? Do you think you're at that spot in your life where you're like your dad? Like, are you far along?" Like I'm like, I told her no, I have years to go, and she's like, "Well, I can tell you right now that you're ready. You're good at. You're ready to do this." And this was months ago. This was back in January, and I was like, "I'm just starting this program. I don't know if I'm good enough." So I kind of keep that in the back of my head. But then there's days when I'm like at work, and I'm like, "Am I cut out to do this? Am I ready to do what I'm doing right now? Am I even qualified to be working at the job that I work at?" Me this morning with Emeroy in that meeting. Like I don't even have the degree. I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing half the time.
That is
Well, you're about to
exactly-
get your degree.
That's exactly how I felt
At
when
least.
I was first doing VP, or like I had like, am I qualified?
You
to
don't
do
have a
this?
business degree,
Like,
too.
'cause I'm like, I'm asking for a fuck ton of, like when we first landed our first like $3,000 client, like monthly,
Flex.
and we're like fuck, this is a lot of money. Can we do it?
Do we deserve this much money?
Like, what if, because this is a lot of money they're investing into us,
Mhm.
into all of us, and if we don't deliver, in a sense, to me, like we lied or we failed.
Who's
Sus.
not though? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Who's not lying?
who's not fucking with people? Like, it's
I
the
mean-
art
That
of
is
keeping a
true.
straight face.
Even at work today, like some lady, like a Filipina lady, like very like bougie Filipina lady came into work, and I had to.
What do you want?
I had to bring out that Filipino side of me, like, oh, I know what I'm doing, like da 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 da. And I was like, huh. In my head, I was like, damn, I'm just faking this. Like I'm talking to my divas, trying to be all goody two shoes and shit, trying to make her think I'm a good person.
You mean every family
Yeah.
gathering?
Deep down, I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
like
All right, I got a question.
yeah,
Sorry. When
I am the
can
real
impos-
Emeroy. That's the real point.
All right. Can imposter syndrome be like a true sign for some things though?
Like,
is it like meant to be like, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like it's a
Okay.
phase a lot of people go through.
Mhm.
Like especially when they're like down the path of, I mean, I remember just talking about it now. I remember going through my years in college in animation, and I saw all my friends who I thought were way more talented than me. I was like, should I be here? My friend Travis, who works at Disney, who worked on Raya, fucking was a killer painter. I'm like, I can't fucking paint. Like, and my other friend Steven, who's now an animator at Blizzard, I'm like, this motherfucker gets rhythm because he's a musician better than me as a dancer. So I'm like, that I had to like, for me, it was like, I think I feel like it's a sign. Like when you go through that, it's just, I think now it's just, this
Yeah,
is
but you
just
still dance.
Huh?
You haven't,
But you still
haven't
dance.
stopped. You still dance.
Yeah, that-
anime.
yes, that you're right on that. Like, but being in that, it's like, it's almost like, you know, being an NBA player, like you go in there, or you're a dancer, you go into a jam, there's all these much more talented people. You're like, fuck, and then you see kids doing air flares. Like, should I keep dancing?
It's pretty
Right.
much
Okay.
you know what the result of falling into the comparison trap like constantly.
Yeah, like,
So like Filipino
Okay, I
parents
see.
comparing
Filipino
you to
families. I mean, y'all know what that is. You'll know how that is.
Like me consistently getting compared to our other cousins who are so prim and proper, and then there's me, the ratchet one.
Jesus Christ, Max, this is fucking an echo.
I told
chamber.
She wasn't on the call earlier.
Literally, my dad, I have this conversation with my dad all the time. He's like,
I
can
told
you
you.
be more ladylike? And I'm like, no. I have a necklace. It's a suplada. And he's like, can you not say that in front of your grandma? And I'm like,
move out, bro. Move out.
I have a necklace that says gutom.
no, here's the thing though. Like, when my
Hungry?
parents, like, my dad has not accepted like how I like just speak my mind like they both do. But when they give me that look, like, don't say it. I know what you're gonna say. You're gonna
She gonna say
you're gonna get
it.
yourself
She
into
gonna fucking
trouble.
say it though.
Like my grandma yesterday we were just FaceTiming and I remember looking at she asked me something like, oh, how's this person? I'm like, I don't fucking know. And my dad was like giving me the look, don't say you hate them, because if you say you hate them, that's gonna open doors to God. Because he knew I was about to
shouldn't
say
hate them.
Family
They're family.
though, like family though.
I didn't
Our
care.
family fucking talks.
I shit you not. I was about
Literally
to be like,
everything you say
"Grandma."
right now, Yvette, will probably make its way to our family here in Jersey.
You know what? Good, because I hate a lot of.
Oh yeah, by the way, also
also
Sean's from New Jersey.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, fuck,
we're in New
Sean's-
Jersey.
Get the fuck out. Get out.
Yeah.
Get out.
I'm the only
Yeah,
motherfucker.
we're-
All of these motherfuckers are Jersey. I'm the only.
We're
L-
from
like-
Jersey though.
yeah.
We're from
Somewhere.
Jersey though.
I'm not telling you because you're about to go Jersey on me and start judging
Oh,
my fucking
shit.
county and shit.
Oh wait, where are you from?
He
Are you
goes-
from a bougie white people town?
What exit? I'm kidding.
Nah, what exit? Exit 12, 13. Hey. That don't help though. I'm from Middlesex. Woodbridge.
Oh, okay.
Oh God.
Hey,
Oh,
Middlesex is
fucking
okay.
God.
Where you from?
You're a Middlesex boy. Oh,
Where you from?
Morris County.
What
Morris
up?
County.
Yo, shout out Union. Let's go.
Hey.
Los Angeles.
It's just me.
Out of here.
Get out of here! Yeah, I'm on the side of the country. Get out of here!
Oh my god.
So
What did I do?
you don't have the grandma that goes like, oh, tell me more, like shit.
Oh, that is my grandma, but I kept my mouth shut, or else she would be asking me more questions why I hate that person.
That's a conversation though.
A conversation
Yeah,
that'll make
but-
its way over to the other people.
But it also sounds
Yeah.
like, you know,
Yeah.
they'll also try to like to convince you to not hate the person.
Mhm.
Because I mean, being
But she's
Toxic
so
positivity.
nice.
Well, I got zero. The only reason I'm nice is because they married into the family, and I don't fucking care the rest of that. That's not my blood.
mm,
Okay.
yeah, fuck them.
All right.
I mean, wow, this
Oh,
is
Maxine, this isn't my dad's side of the family. This is the mom's side of the family. I think you know who I'm talking about.
I think I do.
It's a tito that I hate.
Yo, invite them on.
Yeah.
Hell no.
But it just fucking
Hell
becomes
no.
the awkward Jerry Springer party. Fucking all the.
Oh no. Just bring like my family drama into this.
Yeah, fuck.
Nah, it's not our side of the family though. It's my
I know.
mom's side.
It's your side, so it's not even my side of it.
No.
So I guess this is called the Jersey Tea Party right now. So
The Jersey Tea Party. Taylor ham, egg, and cheese.
Hell yeah, Taylor Ham.
Taylor ham, egg, and cheese.
No, like we were talking about imposter syndrome, like to kind of like go back into it. I think Sean asked if it was a sign for something. I thought it was a sign of like you suck.
All right,
You should
here's a
quit.
follow-up.
I'm just kidding.
Well, here's a follow up. Then what do you do after? Like you sink in that, you fall into that.
Mhm.
It sounds like you would have said like, oh, look at these kids doing air flares. Like, let me level up.
Yeah, that's essentially what I
Wow.
did. But I acknowledged like
That's a
for me it was like acknowledging, and it sucks because like that I was never gonna do power. Okay, I'm not gonna say never because never say never, that whole thing, because look, me and
yeah.
Max,
What
10 years.
Justin Bieber said.
but it's just like
Fuck that guy.
I just but acknowledging I just really did not have the patience to do it, and I really leaned in more on what I was really good at. So, and then now going into the context of like my college animation years, like my friend good at animation, I think a lot of my friends considered me one of the top animators in our college friend group, but it was like the little competitive comparison trap.
Not good enough.
Like I wanted to be the top, like, you know, like, oh, Emeroy is good at this. And then for me, that I found it in like being a rigging, which is a very, very technical aspect of animation, which is also one of the most paying sides of animation. And everyone asked me to do it. And that's where I kind of like found my little pocket of, in this realm of whatever it is, this is where I knew I enjoyed it and I was good at it. It's so good that I was getting paid to do a lot of other people's finals.
Let's
I
go.
made some side cash doing that shit.
Oh, I love doing that.
So and then yeah, I mean,
That's a sick story.
so yeah. So I don't think I've ever told that story. It's partly because I'm fucking stubborn.
See,
I'm
you
like,
handle it way differently than I do.
Yeah, I'm stubborn. So I was determined to make it work and somehow, if not beat someone, at least be good at it to the point where like I can decent. Like say same thing with breaking. Like I know I wasn't gonna be like a top. At this point, I'm like I'm just not interested in becoming a top breaker anymore in terms of competition. But at least I want to be better than the average person, so I can make them shut the fuck up at a club.
Yeah, like you know how to break.
Yeah,
Not a lot of people know how to break, just so you know.
Yeah, I know. Like that's the thing. Like when I'm just walking around, like because when I'm doing grocery shopping, I'm listening. I'm kind of like dancing, doing my thing. I'm like, I'm the only one person here that dances, probably, and everyone here is just like, so it's like, because you know you get so used to your environment of a bunch of dancers, you forget the rest. You're just literally a fraction of the rest of the world. What was that?
Eat your spaghetti, Sean. Eat the
My
spaghetti.
carbs. No, that was knowledge drop. Like you try to be the top, and then you fail to realize that you're a small fraction of like experts in this.
Yeah, and that's kind
That's
of
pretty
like
dope.
that's kind of what helped me with Vision Paradox and like and help in making my course, because you don't have to be the top expert. You just have to know more than the average. And then people are willing to pay that. You know why? Because most people are lazy motherfuckers.
Fair.
Sorry. He said it.
So
He said it.
I
Sorry,
mean,
guys.
I mean, I'm gonna admit, because I am a lazy motherfucker in the sense I do not want to do my laundry. I pay for it to get done. So
Oh, my bad. My bad.
dude, it's only $30. It's the same price I do for like. It's the same price as me actually doing it myself.
You know how much spaghetti I could buy with $30? I could feed myself for like a year.
You know how many slices of pizza I can get with that? I can go to Jersey City and get like dollar slices.
I price it based off like how much time I
30.
save, because it's like it's 2 hours sitting on my ass in the laundromat, or 2 hours I get back to continue doing work. I price a lot of my activities on time spent, convenience and time. If it's like if someone like shit, if like getting a haircut today, like I could spend hours
that's
trying to
something
figure
you never
that
do
out.
by yourself.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like I can either try to figure it out and do bad,
It's a tax write-off.
or someone else does it better. You know, or some people who are too lazy to get a plumber, and they fuck everything up because they're trying to save money and make it worse.
Looking at my wall that drywall that I changed myself.
So yeah, I mean that's just me. Fuck, I feel like that was a terrible example, but that is an example of me. I'm lazy in that sense. I'm lazy. I'd much rather fucking pay someone else to do it for me rather than me do it myself, so I can pay for my time back.
So you have a whole like completely different approach when it comes to, you know, like dealing with like imposter syndrome, because like yours is like your sources are completely different than mine. Like mine stems from like Yvette's probably gonna talk about this later, and I already talked about it before, but you know, it stems from like how I grew up. It's a lot of like external forces saying, you know, like all these good things, you had to earn it, or like it's just like, oh, here's a phone because you got straight A's, not like here's a phone because we need you to have a phone.
Yeah.
Or like stuff like that. It's, you know, like I talked about it already before, but it really, really heavily leans into the what I have, I don't deserve. So including like compliments, promotions, anything good coming at me is like, you know, like I'm like, why, how? It's like if someone says, hey, I like your eyebrows, what do you want?
Is that the same as like a transactional relationship?
Exactly.
That
like
sounds
most
like a
of
very transactional relationship.
Especially when it comes
when
it comes to like how I grew up or whatever. And then I was like telling Emeroy that like, you know, someone, and also it comes from the source. Like if it was someone that I respected, like telling me that like, oh, you're not good enough for this, even though I know for a fact that they're bullshitting, like it'll still like, it'll sting, it'll still affect me. But there was somebody that I said this already before, but like somebody I never respected whatsoever essentially said I got to keep my job because I knew Photoshop. and that was the only reason why.
They were talking about you.
Yeah. Like I only got to keep my job because I knew Photoshop. And I was just like, and the thing is, I never respected this person because that came from a source that I never respected or gave a shit about. And I was telling my therapist about this, and she was like, I think you just had a breakthrough.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait.
Because I took that and I was just like, okay, so what? Like my initial, because normally if it came from someone I like respected, I'd be like, oh, you're right. Or whatever.
Yeah.
But because I didn't respect them, I was like, I was like, and then well, at least I got a job. Sorry, you lost yours.
Do we believe it? Do we believe ourselves when we have it because we respect ourselves?
I don't respect myself.
Never mind.
That's why I'm in therapy.
I mean,
never mind.
That's why I'm in therapy.
So that's a really good question because I would almost agree when you're because I think it makes sense with Max because I know she says that she doesn't respect herself, but it's to the point where she respects herself more than the other motherfucker talking shit.
Exactly. It's everything's kind of relative in a sense.
Yeah, like because if it's someone, say, I don't know, like someone you hold near and dear to your heart.
Like if Emeroy told me to, like, if I said this before, like, but I think it's an extreme example, but like it kind of works for the topic because if I sent Emeroy something that I made and then I asked him for his opinion and if the first thing out of his mouth was delete Photoshop, then I'd be like delete life.
Yeah, like it's almost like, it's a difference of like it's where it's coming from, where it depends how it's gonna land. If the other guy says it, doesn't give a fuck, but just because like our relationship with each other, there's a different type of hit.
And it is also the fact that you like beyond the fact that we're together, it's also, you do this thing better than me. That's why, hence I came to you for like, for advice or whatever. And if your advice was delete Photoshop, be like, delete my life now, please.
Yeah, or like, or if like when Sean, when you showed me like that you got the move that the air shuffle, and then
do it
now.
Do it now. No, but like say you did it and you sent it to me, and I was like, yo, that shit's fucking trash, dude. And I said that.
Oh my god.
That would be that
I wouldn't fight you because you would fight back, but
you wouldn't be too happy about it.
Yeah, so
I'd show up to rehearsal and be like, I don't really care about anything.
Oh,
right
anymore.
That's the thing.
But I'd still show up though.
Yeah, at least you'd show up.
Yeah, but that's because
you're getting paid.
It's very much like
you're getting money, honey.
It's very much like how children are with parents. So the kids will ultimately end up disliking themselves, but still show up for their parents because they love their parents.
Oh, it fucking hurts, bro.
Event, hi.
You know what I mean? That makes sense, right? Because like that's one of the hugest things I learned with parenting, like how you treat your kids. Like what they're gonna, if you treat the kid bad, they're only gonna end up hating themselves, but they're gonna love the shit out of you no matter what.
Oh, that's so ugly.
That was so the opposite for me. I used to hate my parents for treating me like shit, but now I'm like, are you guys okay? Like, I hope you guys are okay. Like, please take care of yourself.
I mean, yeah. Like,
shout out to that.
So yeah, that's good. I mean,
like, I remember this time last year, I hated them. I was like, why are you guys making me do this? Why are you making me be a nurse? And now I'm just like, I see it now. I guess
You were a nurse during the pandemic?
No, I mean, like, why are you making me be a nurse?
She's still in school.
Yeah.
Like,
you're
why
still going to school for it? And the pandemic just happened?
Yeah.
Shout out to that. No, do that.
But now I'm kind of like, I guess I care about them.
You get
a little.
It gets to that point, like where you start caring about your parents. Because I used to be a little fucking shit.
Me too.
I still am.
Fuck you, Sean.
I still am. I am
a thorn, bro.
I am a thorn in their side, and I am proud of it.
Yeah, and like,
I'm not a thorn anymore, but I do understand. I like if they don't call me now, I'll be like, "What are you guys doing? Are you alive? Are you okay? Like, what's going on? What are you guys doing?"
Well, one part was I wanted to improve my relationship with my mom, is because like my relationship with my mom is gonna be a reflection of my relationship with women, so I needed to change that. And then my relationship with my dad was gonna be a relationship kind of like with my son. So it's like for me, I'm a believer of like how you do anything is how you do everything. and it's always going to be a mirror. So I'm like, cool, let's kind of handle this right now before I fuck it up with the young one.
Shout out to that.
Heal yourself
I feel the
from
same
your
way.
parents before you be a parent.
Yeah, and yeah, what the fuck were we talking about? But yeah, anyway, he's imposter
I
syndrome,
don't know.
pasta syndrome.
Pasta.
Pasta. Oh yeah,
Pasta.
by the way, Sean is
Spaghetti.
is a mean cook. So actually, all you motherfuckers can cook, can't you?
Can we do a
Yeah.
cook-off when I'm there?
Dude,
Hell yeah, I'm
Yo,
down.
supper club. Let's just feed everybody.
Fucking hell yes. Who wants
I'm
bread?
in Vegas. I'm in Vegas.
Like, who wants bread?
yo, we're just gonna have a special awkward tea party segment of just like the Jersey Supper Club.
I'm gonna make a quiche. I can make a mean quiche.
Okay, make a quiche. I'll make the Levain cookies, some sourdough bread,
Carrot cake. Carrot
ooh,
cupcake.
carrot cake.
I can make.
And I'll steal my brother's leche flan recipe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you've
I
had
can make it clap.
Bro,
Wait, can I ask a question? Because I feel like this is like the perfect time, and I don't know. I don't ask for help much, so I'm gonna do this live. And
yeah, let's go.
Oh,
Let's hear
All right,
this.
so imposter syndrome, right? Something about not feeling like you deserve what you have. Okay,
Mhm.
relationships. Whew. What?
Oh, huh.
Oh,
I talked about that before too.
it's a
We
fantastic.
talked about it again.
I'm forever
Um,
alone.
But like, what if
You're
All
in
right.
school.
for each of you guys, do you guys break up more often than you get broken up with? Is that the right way to say it?
I get broken
I
up
just
with
never
that
get
more.
the chance.
I've gotten broken up with
I've never got
More.
the chance.
more than I've.
I'm on the receiving end of that a lot more.
Yeah,
You get broken up with rather than leaving.
Mhm.
I've gotten broken up with rather than leaving.
I've never got the chance.
To what? To have a breakup?
No, to have a real boyfriend.
Oh, whatever.
It's
You're
always
not even
been-
30 yet.
It's always been situationships.
Situationships.
You know,
That's
Sometimes
interesting.
better.
That's interesting.
like I was always like
That's
the
about-
second option is what it always felt like. So I always, for a long time, Emeroy and Max know this. Like I felt like I was just an option. I was the side dish. I was
As your imposter syndrome.
yeah, that was my imposter syndrome. Like I never deserved the love
shit.
I gave back.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm
wow.
just like,
'Cause
this
I
motherfuckers ain't
sacrificed-
good enough for you.
Yeah, because I sacrificed so much of myself and who I am, and then I had to go through a hellstorm of not only just like finding who I am. I went through a whole ass.
I was like, do you even know who I am? Who you're related to?
I was like, I had to go through a whole spiritual awakening. I went through a lot of shit to finally get to where I am right now.
That's tight though. Like, I mean, sorry. But shout out to the journey though, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what. Yeah, like it
Most
was
of
a
us
lot
are trying
for
to get
me.
to where you're at.
Like last year was, damn, that was a hellstorm. That was.
Oh, we
that
here
was
now.
A hellstorm, but like now I'm just like I look back at it, I'm like, shit. Why did I do that?
Yeah.
Why did I put myself through that?
Yeah. For those of you guys listening, if you're interested in listening to her story, she's probably like
Look for
around-
every other episode.
probably
involving
episode 5 maybe of Awkward Tea Party. Man,
that. Start there.
this,
Yeah, start there.
this is gonna be episode 70
Fuck.
Really?
of Awkward Tea Party.
Oh, sheesh.
Yeah.
Let's go.
The one that Maxine and
What
I
should we
just
do
did.
on our 100th episode?
I don't
Bring me
know.
back.
Bring Yvette back,
Bring you back.
obviously.
I feel like
She would be back every other episode.
I feel like we should like save it for like when you're here in September and film
Yeah.
episode 100 as a group
100.
thing, like with some
Yeah,
of
we
the
should.
people who've been on here.
We should do it at Good Sam. Plug.
So good. Oh my god.
Oh, we were planning on recording an episode with you anyway, so
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah. But shit. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. You were talking about your relationship, and you always felt like a side dish.
Oh, yeah, I
Fun time.
did. And then
Appetizer.
I don't know. It came to a point, I think earlier on this year, back in February, where at that point I didn't talk to no one. I didn't talk to people that I was close with, even my family. Maxine's own brother, I didn't talk to him for months because I had to go through my own shit. And then I came back and I was like, I realized that I had a lot of issues to address on my own and knowing what I deserve, knowing who I am. Now I'm kind of like, I don't fucking care. I'm gonna say what's on my mind. I'm gonna be that bitch again because I was trying to fit in so much to the point where I lost myself. Like I was nice to people that I knew from the get-go. My intuition was right. They're fake. They're not.
that's my girl.
That'll be there for you at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I went through that whole thing. I was going through that for what, since I moved to Vegas, because I wanted to fit in and fit into the culture here, but I couldn't. That just wasn't me. And people used to be like, she has too much of a strong personality. She shows off too much. She talks about New York too much. And
Yeah, but it's New York.
Now, and then I went through that whole thing for the last, I don't even know how many years before, but like, it was a 4-year process. And I'm kind of just like, well, fuck all of y'all. I'm happy with my life.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to fit into that box that you guys are like. I'm not trying to fit into that stereotype because I'm not that person.
Yeah. So it's
Oh, she's that bitch.
I didn't tell you. I decided to reach out to that person, to him.
Mhm.
Oh.
And it was good. We actually met face to face and talked. And I was like, I'm happy with my life. I'm good at where I am. And I thought I would leave feeling really sad and upset. And like, I would go down to be that person from episodes before, be like really depressed and shit. I was kind of like, why are you giving me uncomfortable vibes? Like, I'm not trying to absorb your negative energy.
Brought out that East Coast.
And I was like,
So my first experience of someone from Jersey, because the way you're talking right now just reminded me one of my close friends from animation school. She was like,
excuse me?
Like, whoa, intense. And
How do you think we fucking talk?
Within the first,
not like that.
within the first 5 seconds, and I was like, I didn't do anything except sit next to you.
Get used to it.
So, and then the West Coast kind of softened her up, but she was like, first. Oh.
Well, that's the thing. When I moved here, I was a little like LA softie, and then no, not anymore.
I was trying to be a soft girl.
I'm here to fight.
I'm not a soft girl.
I'm here to fight.
Yeah, I gotta find my Jersey side. I fucking lost that. Help.
You lose it, and then you always come back to it.
Come home real quick.
Garlic right now.
Like the good Italian American.
Like dainty little finger move.
Oh my God! You should just take the knife and just like smash
Yeah,
smash
it.
the skins off.
Wait.
Okay, Yvette.
I do need help though.
Didn't you have a question about a relation? Oh, yeah.
I did. So imposter syndrome. I don't think it's an excuse too, but like in breakups, I've always said like, "Oh, you deserve better." That's why I'm breaking up with you.
You're such a dude.
Wait, like it's not you, it's me. Like you deserve better than me. Is that what you?
But I meant
Like you
it.
actually meant it.
Oh, okay.
There we
Then
go.
that just
Look at
means she wasn't the one. That was not the effort. If you knew she was the one, you make more of an effort. You think you deserve her. The fuck?
Shout out
What
Jersey.
she said.
Because like,
Quick and to the point.
first of all, that's like a big ass red flag. That's a big red flag. You go, I don't deserve you. You deserve better than me. Oh, bullshit. It's just because you don't want to put in the effort.
Fucking drop my garlic, bro.
She's coming out.
Let me know. No, let me know.
Is this
My ego's
therapeutic?
ready for this. Let's
If
go.
it's
Let's go. Break me down.
relationship advice you want to hear from me, I will tell you how it is.
Let me know. Break me down. I'm ready for this. Let's go.
What else did you do? What else did you say? Let's go. What else did you say?
All right. I was like,
popcorn.
I'm already.
I'm already.
Hold on. No. Let me tap into this moment. Let me tap into this scenery.
She's getting heated.
All right. Let me paint this picture for y'all. So, yeah, like I wasn't there. Like I wasn't present, right? And I wanted to be, right? And the fans are killing me right now.
It's warm.
No,
over
but I guess like I don't know, like someone caring about you comes once in a blue moon. So when it finally happens, why do all of a sudden I feel like, oh, I don't deserve this. Get it off me. Like I'm gonna run away.
Because you haven't figured yourself out. That's what it is. You got to find your own happiness and be happy on your own and not rely on that person for your fucking happiness. The fuck?
This is growth, ladies and
When
gentlemen.
you're with someone, y'all should both be happy and add on to that. Don't depend on each other for your happiness.
This is officially the
You're right.
Yvette Tea
You're
Party.
right.
You don't sacrifice your happiness for another person. Like, do the shit you like to do.
Trust her, she did that before.
And I've done that. I sacrificed so much of my time. Bitch, I wasted
wasn't even
4
a
years of
relationship.
my life. I wasted 4 years on someone who wouldn't reciprocate with me. I wasted 4 years of my time and my effort.
That's a long time though. I mean, like
So,
after a couple months, I'm like
we
it's my
don't quit.
birthday, and we're
We
not,
don't
not
quit.
trying to spend it
No,
with you.
I don't. If
We
you
don't
care,
quit.
if you think you love someone, damn, that shit be brainwashing you. Love is really blind.
Fair. Also, this family doesn't know how to quit. So.
Wait, so imposter syndrome. I don't know if I got an answer, but that shit was hella entertaining.
So okay,
I mean, it's common because, like I said so myself
feeling-
too. It's like with every relationship I've been in, it's like, why do you like me?
Yeah.
Like, fifth date, do you like me?
I think that's
Second
a-
year, do you like me?
I definitely agree with Yvette. It's definitely like a self-work thing, because if you cannot receive it with even the whole self-love thing, if you can't receive that, you're not going to hear
Can't
it.
love yourself how the hell you
Yeah,
love somebody else.
it's a classic. And there's also like a massive, and if therapy for some reason isn't done, there's the reassurance and communication that needs to come from the person, saying that you're worthy of love, that they want to be with you. And then that reassurance has to be a never ending and unconditional reminder that you're important. Because I've had my moments, because especially being in a long distance relationship, I'm like,
With who?
With who? You?
with Sky Daddy. Like, but there's been moments of
Sky
like,
Zaddy.
there's been moments of like where I'm uncertain, and then she reassures me that, you know, the feelings are still there, and that's always important, and that because that builds the safety and everything. But you know, that's also needs to be instant reciprocated, that you want to be with that person. If you're not interested by month 2, then obviously you're not interested. And it's different. It's different from like liking the idea of with them. Like, oh yeah, they're pretty hot. I like the idea of being with them. It's like, damn, I love who I am with this person. I love spending my time with this person. Very different.
Fire.
So
Fire. Hope you're recording this.
In a sense, Emery doesn't think I'm hot. I'm kidding.
what was that? What was
I'm
that?
kidding.
In a sense, what?
Emery doesn't think I'm hot.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
You see how many times he posts you?
He
Like,
thinks you and your penis are hot. Okay.
Yeah, because I
Ginormous.
randomly, like, I didn't want to fly to you to try to shoot my shot for after 10 years of ghosting you. And then somehow
Guys.
it worked.
I heard that Halloween podcast, by the way. That shit was hilarious.
Because I was like, yeah, I haven't had any supernatural, like
Say it again.
I haven't had any supernatural experiences like everybody else, like Crystal or whatever. So I was like, yeah, but Emery did ghost me for like 10 years.
Oh my god, the most common form of it is the most common form of
I
supernatural
thought we were
experiences.
related. Everyone in our family has to have a supernatural experience.
I don't remember at the house. You were like, yeah, you saw all these things, you felt all these things. I just slept.
Must be nice. Cannot relate. I have to pray. Have a scapula on me.
Everyone was like, because I slept in the big room and near the windows where everything was supposed to be happening, and they were like, "How'd you sleep?" Like a baby.
They're scared of you. That's why.
Exactly. It's like there's something wrong with this bitch.
Yeah, like we said in the Halloween podcast, like, yeah, fuck
like if
this
like
bitch.
if if demons were real and like supernatural shit was actually like real, like they probably looked at me and they went, "You know what? Just leave her alone."
Oh, you know what just reminded me, like, because we have random questions of the week
Oh
for
that
Paradox.
question.
That
Oh my god, it
question
does actually tie into it.
kind of ties into this. Then
Mhm.
somehow we got it from relationships. But who makes you feel loved even when you're not
When
lovable?
you feel even
When
when
you
you yourself
feel-
don't feel lovable.
Yeah.
Ooh. Sean chopping his garlic very carefully now.
Who makes you feel loved even when you feel unlovable?
Yeah.
I want to say myself.
Those boom.
Ooh.
I'm gonna say myself because
Perfect.
That's my
Stole my
girl.
answer.
I mean, like I have a lot of I wouldn't want to say like other than myself, it'd be my really good girlfriend Katrina. Shout out Tran, I love you. But like at the end of the day, the only person I really have on my own team is myself. So me, myself.
That was so good.
Yeah.
Sean was like, I don't know.
Sean's like,
Sean was
that's a
Sean was
great
like,
answer.
This piece of garlic right here.
this small boy right here, garlic.
I don't know. Like, I'll do I? I mean, so I'll open up to like friends and stuff, like close homies that like I trust and like probably know more about me than anyone else. I'll listen to them. Like, I'll validate what they say about me. And because again, it's one of those, like, I respect them. So if they say something to like lift me up, it's like, they're not bullshitting me. I can't start thinking that they're bullshitting me if I consider them like a close, trustworthy friend.
Yeah.
So that helps, but also self-love. I like that answer. You know, we're working on it.
The journey. Enjoy the journey.
I mean, Yvette, to be honest, you have a very great advantage because you are the youngest of all of us. You're only 19 years old.
We're
and
30.
you're getting-
I am 23, turning 24 this month.
We're 30.
We're bestowing 30-year-old knowledge to expedite your
Corrupted.
wisdom.
Not gonna lie though, sometimes I feel like I'm at least 26, and all my friends forget I'm only 23.
Listen, when I was 21, I thought I was 30.
They're like, I kind of forget you're only 23. I'm like, I know, me too.
When I was 21, I was 30 because I just wanted to go home early.
Yeah, being home by 8 is great. This is late for me.
Or, you know, when I take an Uber to like a bar at like 10, like no, from the bar at 10, and the Uber driver's like, "You're going the wrong way." I'm like, "Nope, I'm going the right way."
I mean, the only time that I would get excited for something like that is if there's a jam happening. But most jams are like, obviously, like at
Late.
afternoons. No, like those are like
Afternoon, yeah.
like there's. I mean, Carnival is
Oh.
is one of those things. Or what the fuck's the other dance industry event?
I don't know. I know Carnival and the Floor.
Jeté. There you go. Jeté is another one that goes late. But yeah, pasta syndrome.
Pasta
syndrome.
Pastas.
With what Yvette was saying earlier about like all these things, someone of, I guess, high ranking acknowledged her. It is an example of like, if you don't believe it within yourself, the whole self-love thing, it's hard to hear the feedback from someone who's even much more experienced. So, and then I think that whole imposter syndrome starts going away when you start getting your own wins gradually.
Mm-hmm.
That's how like VP went from like $100 a month and being overworked from stupid fucking clients, and to like now
Calling you in the middle of competition.
in the middle of a competition, but now between 2,500 to 4,500 per client. So it's like slowly building it. And just for everyone here, just because that's what VP's earning does not mean that's what I'm earning, because it goes to pay off.
There's a bunch of us, and there's like
It's
stuff. There's software that we use, equipment maintenance.
Yeah, it's to pay the company. So yeah.
And then also, I you know, I'll repeat it since this is probably going to be a separate episode. I said a previous, I guess, segment, like what my therapist gave me. This might not work for everybody, but it works for me. You know, she essentially was like, stop calling it imposter syndrome. It is what it is. That's what it is. That's what I'm experiencing. But, you know, for me at least, you know, we feel like I use the term, the name, and give it power and use it as a crutch. It's like, oh, I'm not good enough because of, you know, I don't think I'm not good enough because of imposter syndrome. So I guess it is what it is. So especially when I told her about that like random breakthrough I had, just because you know, it was someone I didn't like at all said, you know, so let's talk some shit. And I was like, and what? So, you know, so essentially it was like forcing me to acknowledge things that I deserved somehow. So it's like writing it down. It's like, you know, it's like I had from something so simple, like I got a good hair day. How did I do that? Like I deserve that. It wasn't like, oh, I just got lucky. Like I do or whatever. It's, you know, because whenever someone like complimented me on anything, it could be from like hair to my work or whatever. There always has to be a qualifier. Like something as simple as like, hey, I like your shoes. Like, thanks, $30 on Amazon.
Yeah.
Like, and I have to qualify something. It can't just be a nice shoe. It has to be, it's nice because this. So like, I need to stop doing that.
I think it's funny because I didn't even give that a name until I saw it on TikTok as imposter syndrome. And I was like, oh, I had that big time, but I didn't know it was imposter syndrome. But I did give it the power of me going, I'm not worthy of this. I'm not worth that. I'm not worth of having that.
Oh, the potato looks good right now.
Imposter. I don't deserve imposter syndrome.
You don't get to call something like
Is it imposter because all right, so is there like a tie to like split personality? Like I don't deserve it, even though I'm getting it, but it's not really me that deserves it. Like it's like the second like
I
you
think
just
that's
make
like
this
a
like
deeper mental illness thing.
Yeah.
I think you need to see a psychiatrist.
Split personality is
right.
completely
No,
different.
for sure.
But, like,
Wait, oh shit, I had some. Okay, all right. Well, so I was gonna tie it together with like, so if it's an imposter, like, oh my god, that's not who I am. But why is that person getting it? I know I don't deserve it, but that person's getting it, and because it almost like splits. I'm thinking it splits kind of like you in half, or it might be like I guess tying into like shadow work.
Mhm.
Where it's like this
Like
repressed side of me, like I don't want to receive it. Like
I think it's
I'm losing myself.
No, but I think it's all tying down to like a matter of worthiness, like feeling worthy for it. And for a lot of us, because especially our upbringing, or even a lot of people, it's like people don't feel worthy of what they receive because obviously the conditional upbringings or experiences we have. So I think it's like somehow deprogramming rewiring yourself to be able to allowing yourself to receive. Like for me, I think like especially when I working on my own anger stuff, and then in my early entrepreneurship days, it's like it was always like you didn't do enough today. Ooh, and it was like,
well, that's I think normally you when you take a break.
No, like
whenever this guy takes a break, he's like, I'm not doing enough.
but like back then, it would, like I would put an insane amount of pressure on myself, like more, and then I feel like I've calmed down throughout the years and allowing myself to acknowledge myself, like, yeah, I got that done today, cool, or like kind of like even like crossing it off. That's a nice way of like on my list, a nice way of acknowledgement, and then also being okay. Like it's a lot of like self-child work, because I remember one of the exercises my therapist gave me, it was like the inner child kind of stuff. She gave me a journal. The left side, one side was I would write on my less dominant hand. I would talk basic ways of like, I feel this, just so like as if the writing was a child. And on the right side of the journal was like you consoling yourself as the adult. So it was like I feel sad, like I feel alone, and then as the adult, taking care of it, like it's okay to feel sad, so yada yada yada. I understand how you could feel that way. Yeah. And it was that became a pretty good tool in like helping release the pressure I feel in trying to achieve so much, because like I said, like the progress part of it is addicting, and then if I don't achieve a certain amount, achieve a certain amount, the worthiness thing becomes an issue. But then that's why like, okay, one thing today, what can I do? Cool, good shit. Like I got that done at least. And then I guess we're also realizing it's not the end of the world when you don't get it done. Cause it's like, especially when I think Max has seen that too. Like when like early Vision Paradox days, clients, I would get triggered when clients called me like at random times, because I felt the pressure to try to deliver. Like, oh, if we don't answer them right now, we're a shitty business. So, but then boundaries, all that shit.
I was that way too when when we, like when we all had to go into quarantine and I had to start working from home. I guess I learned a little bit more just from working with VP, but like the people I worked with have never worked from home before, don't know how this works. So they're just like, and one of them has like a child, like a toddler. So like, her schedule is completely different. Like, like she would be messaging me at like 10 p.m. even though I've already done 8 hours worth of work from 9 to 5. And if she was just like, hey, can you send me this invoice or whatever? And I will do it. Like I have done it. And I'm just like, wait, no, fucking stop it. Like, she's going to start expecting me to respond at 10 p.m. or after 5. And I'm just like, I don't get paid enough for this.
And then I'm like, when that too, I think that was such a huge thing when she fucking established that boundary. I'm like, yes, Don't let
And the thing is, like, you know,
other
and my whole
people's-
thing is, I'm like, I'm so far down the totem pole. I'm like, do I even get to do this? I'm like, do I have the quote unquote right
yeah.
to set boundaries? I'm like, I'm so below the totem pole or whatever, like in just terms of like, you know, because there's a director, there's a manager, and there's a vice president that I have to deal with. So I'm just like, do I have to, like, you know,
Humans.
I'm down here.
Yeah.
I'm like, do I get to?
You bleed when you cut. You cry. You got tears. You
That's the thing with a lot of
Their shit smells too.
that's the thing with a lot of companies though.
Yeah.
They see you as a cog in the wheel to get shit
Mhm.
done, and not someone who has a life to
I've
live.
trained them well though. I mean,
So-
they're still gonna work their hours. I don't give a fuck. But
Yeah.
once they start messaging me at like after 5:30 and they don't get a response, I'm just like,
Yeah,
okay.
and just to like, well, I wanted to do this real quick. Like, give props to Yvette because like where she ventured out on her own, because like a case of like leaving the nest to discover your own, and then once you come back, it's like you realize there's a plane that you didn't see before because of your environment, which prevented you from seeing it. Because I feel like the environment and the people you surround yourself with play into a role of seeing your own.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Um,
it really is.
Yeah, like because the people you surround yourself with can easily be the people that prevent you from seeing what's so extraordinary about you.
And that's what happened to me for 3 years until I found Good Sam.
Yeah,
Like for me, like that's my people. That's my tribe. Like it's more than just working with them. We're like a family. Like I tell them every time.
And like
before
for
I
real.
like literally. It's
not like any other company saying you're a family.
Yeah,
They
but we're
just want
actually
to
like
guilt you out of quitting.
we're a whole ass family. Like I would text my boss, be like, "Yo, I passed my exam." He's like, "Yeah, hell yeah, you do." It's osmosis. You surround yourself with successful people. That's what you're gonna be. And for me now, it's kind of like, yeah, I see that. I see that drive. And before I couldn't see that because I surrounded myself with people that honestly I thought wanted to see me fail. And then slowly but surely I weeded those people out, and now I found the right people I surround myself with.
Tend your garden, girl.
yeah. I mean,
Water them plants.
that's what I love hearing that, because that means the culture is like is pure in a sense. And what do you call it? And that's what I love when I hear other people from Temper Tantrum or VP say like over the whole family thing. I was like, yeah, you're fucking lying, but cool, good for you. But no, I'm just kidding.
It's funny because I had one of my girlfriends came in for an appointment, and then she was getting her blood drawn in the back, and then you just hear me, my boss, and then the office manager. We're just laughing every time patients even walk in. They hear us laughing through that glass, and they're like, "Oh damn!" It's like you guys really are like family.
But yeah, like I think I was like saying before in like the previous like segment before you guys came on, you know, it's like my kind of stems from like my upbringing, and I'm pretty sure you can relate.
Oh hell yeah!
You know, the whole
110%.
comparison trap, and the thing is like the comparison trap is more of a concept for a lot of people, but for a lot of like Filipino families, the comparison trap is a physical
becomes a
thing.
competition.
It's
The
a
comparison
reality.
trap is a real thing.
No, it's a
tangible
competition.
thing. Like the comparison trap is a Filipino party.
You cannot tell me that you don't go to a Filipino party and all the moms be comparing all their kids.
Mhm.
I see
Like the
who's
fucking like
gooder.
we're fucking trophies.
Yeah, well, that's where I think is toxic. Where it's
That's
like,
why I go to Filipino parties and I drink in front with the uncles, because
so,
then they can talk shit, and I'll be like, I'm right here.
because yeah, that's why I think
I
that's
just eat
toxic.
and ignore people.
I'm
there for the food. I'm there for
I-
the free food and the free booze.
I get pretty competitive with those conversations. Like, yeah, well,
Well, my son,
remember,
my grandson graduated from Harvard, summa cum laude.
remember that text I told you, Max? Like, that's one of my cousins got featured in a magazine.
Oh my
No,
god! And you were like, I got featured in 2.
Yeah, and it's true. I'm like, cool, I got featured in a magazine, but I'm gonna get featured in 2. Again, I made it happen.
No,
Like you can't just be happy for people.
no, you have to one up. He has to one up this fool. I hate you.
My god.
So
Those were
much.
fun. I was never.
Good thing
in
I'm
your
good at
face.
things he's not good at. So I'm
Why
just
are
like,
you like this?
good thing, like I'm just like glad I'm good at
It's
things that he's
fun.
not good at.
Because it's not like I'm like, hey, bitch, fuck you. Like, you know, it's like, all right. I got it.
That's
To me,
cute.
it's just like I got to step.
Here
up
are my
a
2 magazine features.
little bit more, just a little bit more, because then that's part of that. I guess that the battle mentality of like, all right, you got
You try that shit with me, bro.
You got moves. I'm gonna try to
She'll fight you.
do one one you up.
I'll fight
She
you
will fight you.
because I know what you're trying to do.
Promise.
Next necklace you should get is fight me.
Fight me. Oh yeah, that's next.
So yeah, relationships.
Oh, so
You want to talk
are we moving on?
relationship?
Are we moving on
okay,
to the
yeah.
next episode?
Sure, why not?
Do we want to close out this?
What else? I mean, I don't have anything prepped on relationships. The only other thing I have in mind is like Jordan moving, but that could be like another episode. Of
That's
me-
another episode.
You being a sad bear.
He was a sad Papa Bear.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I was like an emotional wreck last week, so
Well, yeah, that's
He's a little
shit.
bit.
I was a little bitch.
Emma was like,
crying.
"Are you gonna break up with me because you saw me crying like a little bitch?" I'm like, "I feel like a little bitch all the time."
Well, it's hard for me. It's hard for me to be vulnerable because it's like, yeah,
It's difficult.
it is. Like though, I think that Max might be the only person that's seen me bawl.
Like, well,
Yes, that's seen me ball, do some crossovers like Allen Iverson. So that is it. Everyone, hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of the Imposter Syndrome, the Pasta Syndrome, and the random question generator. If you guys like it, make sure you hit like, subscribe, share this with friends who you think might enjoy this.
Just not our
or
family.
not, or not, just waste their time.
Just not anyone in relation to Maxine or I.
Yeah, well,
Waste my time, 2021.
So
Mm.
yeah, and other than that, what do you got? And if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, leave us a nice positive review.
And you have Apple Podcasts, by the way, because Steve Jobs went on a trip.
And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to hit the like button. So with that, have an amazing night, evening, morning, day, month, week, whenever you're listening to this. We appreciate you and your time and your existence, and you are worthy of love. Just a reminder for that. With
We
that,
love you all.
we
I know.
appreciate you. We appreciate you, and we'll see you guys in the next episode of the Awkward Tea Party.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Beep, boop, 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 beep.